what I saw in the vision that I had of the future was a a space force where the space force had gone to Mars, and I was seeing a underground um, excavations going on for resources. There was mining going on that I was very clear of in the vision that I feel like God showed me of our future. I saw a symbol on the side of the craft. The ship looked something like it was hovering and it was flying over the Mars surface like almost like a plane, but without it seemed like it was like um, almost gliding across the Mars surface. And and then I saw an excavation cave down, going downward, and there was clearly like stuff being excavated out of Mars, some type of resources. It could be water or any other minerals or something like that, oil. There was definitely something under there that they were taking out and excavating. And I saw this symbol on the side of the ship, and it it wasn't the typical it wasn't the NASA symbol. So I was a little confused by it. I was just thinking, what is this? Why is God showing me this? Why am I seeing this symbol? And there was it looked kind of like this triangular shape in the middle. This was probably like a year ago or a year or two ago when I had this vision. It was really really deep, really vivid, and it was obvious that this group, this force was winning, was dominating, was on Mars, um, and gaining territory and gaining resources and stuff like that. And I just as I saw the Space Force symbol flag revealed recently, and that was the symbol that I saw. Um, I now thinking back, I remember seeing that symbol in the vision that I had. So I feel like God is trying to awaken people to this, to show people that there is a great, glorious future for America and for the world, when people can come together in the glory of God, in the what I believe is the American values, the freedom of religion and stuff like that. That there can be a glorious future that's going to benefit everyone. There's probably tons of resources on all of these planets. I was just seeing Mars, but eventually we will probably be able to get to all of the planets and gain all kinds of resources. Eventually, we'll definitely first go to the moon and then to Mars. That was kind of the gist of what I was seeing in this vision. I believe the Space Force and what's happening now is a big part of that, for America and for the rest of the world. I believe this is going to be the this is the point in history where people have to get behind this, or or will be not be a part of that future, that glorious future that we're going to have. I believe that the this goes hand in hand with the glory of God filling the earth. So I believe some of the visions from Isaiah 65, where people are living for hundreds of years in the future. Obviously, this isn't happening now. So it says that someone who dies at 100 will be considered a youth, and a curse. So we're looking at people living for 200 or 300 years, perhaps, maybe even more, eventually. So that wouldn't be crazy to imagine. A future world where people are living for 400 years, and you might be able to go to different planets and spend time on every planet, on Venus and on Mars. Um, I also saw um, a type of rocket on Mars, flying on Mars. Kind of looked like this. It had the Space Force symbol on it. That's something like what it looked like, and it was kind of gliding across the surface of Mars in the first vision, and that was happening. And then I had another vision and this was a launch facility on Earth, and it had some type of thing like this, and it was like a launch projectile pod that would launch up into space, and this technology looked more advanced than even what I saw on Mars. So I think this is another stage of development where we're going to be able to get to and from even faster. We're going to be able to get to the moon and then to Mars and then to Venus even faster and faster. We'll have better technology where we can use maybe electromagnetic rails to propel something into space, and then it would be captured on maybe on the moon, and then and then another launch could occur to another planet. This would be an even more advanced stage of technology that will happen. Um, Hopefully, within the next few hundred years or something like that. It's hard to say exactly when all this is going to happen, but this symbol was the key. The Space Force symbol. What's happening now, is part of that glorious, future that our hearts should um, be willing to be a part of that future, and to see it through, and to see, I see the glory of God in it. I see the glory of God filling the whole earth. I envision a world of people living longer, people living healthier, people coming together in the glory of God, in the Holy Spirit, and in good health and longevity, and building things for longevity, building things that last forever, building things that aren't meant to break within a few days and a few months. That would be restoring family values. That would be, the restoration of health and of genetics. That's even talked about in Isaiah 65 and Revelation chapter 21. So I believe these are key. I believe there is, um, technology is meant to be used by us and in our ingenuity, to progress and to advance mankind, not to obviously not to use for evil purposes. But I believe technology is something that's sacred. It should be used in the spirit of God and the glory of God to advance and to develop people, to just to a higher capacity to be able to benefit and help and aid life. Nothing should be designed to cripple and to take life and to destroy and things like that. That would be to me the evil use of technology. But technology should be used to, again, we can advance consciousness throughout the solar system, and that's a great future that everyone could be a part of. Um, and Yeah, I believe that is what's in Revelation chapter 21, the new heavens and the new earth, and in Isaiah 65. These definitely seem to go hand in hand with human development and advancement in the technological world and in the spiritual. You have to have both that come together. When we can have both, when we can harness both of those, we can only imagine things that will expand and benefit, all of humankind in the in the long term.